If you can't find the perfect Halloween costume, maybe the character or the theme that your family's affixed to right now, my first guest has found such creative joy in making her own, coordinating something original. In fact, for the last 11 years, she's been getting her whole family in on the fun with costumes that make a statement. We invited her, asked her, begged her to inspire us with her DIY genius. Inspiration for any cast, any crew is friend of the show, Kalee Allred. Thank you for being here.
Thank you for having me.
11 years, this has been your thing.
Yes, and I love it.
And you previously wouldn't describe yourself as a seamstress. How did you get into this?
It's so funny. Like, my background in seamstressing is literally from a 7th grade sewing class that I took.
Well, your teacher is way more proud than mine.
Well, I hope so. I hope so. So yeah, that's kind of where it started, and I just kind of like started piecing things together because, you know, what's available, the costumes out there are either too expensive or the quality is just not what you want. Or like when your daughter wants to be the magic carpet in an Aladdin theme, like what do? You know, so you just have to piece it together and make it work.
It's the one time in your life Amazon cannot rescue you.
Yes,
when
right?
the daughter wants to be a magic carpet. But you say you love it. You found such joy in approaching this with a creative lens, a DIY way.
Yeah, it's awesome. Like, we really get into it, like the themes, the songs from the movies, and we really try to like get into character and like embrace it as a family and make it a whole month-long experience.
Here's how we thought we'd approach this, is to go through kind of your Halloween closet, if you will, your costume trunk.
Yeah.
Because with each costume, with each theme that you've pulled together these last 11 years, that's so amazing, there's little tricks you've picked up along the way, or little hacks or sewing approaches that I think the average person watching could glean something from.
Yeah.
So this first costume, what set was this from?
Okay, so this is from our pirate costume,
yes.
which was so fun. I love this one because it's so simple. Everything is just basically thrifted pieces that I put together. And I like to work backwards in my process of like looking at pictures like on Google and YouTube and what people have done in the past, and even the cast members from Disneyland and Disney World, because their costumes are incredible.
So you look at those costumes, those inspirational pictures that you find online, and you break it down sort of piece by piece. So when you do go into the craft store, or the thrift store rather, you can spot the velvet jacket or you can spot the ruffle blouse.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. And then you just, you know, it's kind of like working a puzzle backwards where you take pieces apart so then you can know how to put them back together and how it'll look.
This is fabulous. And I imagine part of the genius in your costume, and there are many layers to your genius, Kalee, but the layers. You layer a lot, and I think that adds to this overall look of really high-end quality. I know it's thrifted, but this looks like something that I would see at Disneyland.
Totally.
Yeah.
Right? And I feel like it all really comes down to the details. You know, with the details, you can add like as much or as little as you want to make it unique to you and your style and your skill set.
Where was the hat from?
Probably a DI.
Amazing.
To be honest.
Amazing.
Really though, everything is like thrifted.
Okay, orient me. I'm not sure who this is.
Okay, so this is the mayor from The Nightmare Before Christmas.
Yes. Okay, fine. Yes.
So it's again like super simple. This is just a suit jacket that I thrifted, and then I made like the tag and the little bow tie. And this is a lampshade.
Oh my gosh.
That I painted.
It's a lampshade.
I am not an artist. Like, this is the first time that I've really like painted and created something, and it's all about like erasing and redoing and, I don't know, breaking it down into the proportions and lining things up.
But therein lies a good takeaway tip. A lampshade can a la a mask.
Yeah. Yeah.
That you might not be able to source or find or Amazon.
Yeah.
Oh, look at your crew. Oh my gosh, they're fantastic. Okay,
So
this next one.
Okay.
I mean, break it down, because the deconstruction of this, I have to imagine, was a little complicated.
Okay, so believe it or not, actually wasn't.
Really?
It's so funny. Like, going back to the puzzle thing, that's literally all this is. And I don't make anything from scratch. And underneath, like, you might be able to see the little Batman costume.
It's a Batman costume.
Yes, that I thrifted. I found it in the size that I needed. And then I pulled up a picture of Groot from the movie, and I just took literally like one little piece at a time.
What is it?
And broke it apart. Okay, so you can use, I actually found a lady that had made one that was much more amazing, and she used like this EVA foam.
Okay.
That can be kind of pricey, and it like, I don't know, you just need a lot of it. And so I actually used like this gym flooring.
Gym mats.
Had this texture to it.
Amazing.
That was awesome. And I just like took a razor blade to it, cut it in pieces, and then I painted it, and it really didn't come together until I added the moss and the green paint, and because it's the details that make it.
Details.
It's the details and the little vines.
And in this case, this feels like an overly obvious observation. Good job, Brooke. But texture, I think, in any form adds to that elevation. Like that overall aesthetic just goes a notch up if you're able to texturize and layer. Again, layer.
Yeah.
Really. Cool.
I know. It's so fun.
Okay, I'm dying over this next one because I think, I would have loved to be Mary Poppins. I still would love to be Mary Poppins. Talk about the frills. Where did you put this together?
Okay, so this, being Mary Poppins, was always a dream of mine. And again, it's like what's available is not the best quality.
Right.
Or
it's kind of
like
cheesy.
Right.
It doesn't look realistic.
No, not at all. And so this was actually a wedding dress that I thrifted. And because I can't make something from scratch, but I can turn something into what I needed.
You're amazing.
And so I slowly just added things. And the hardest part on this one was actually the whole bodice. Because I'm not a seamstress and I just had to, I don't know, kind of piece it together. But it turned out great. And it's like the details. And like this hat was a sun hat that I paper machéd, like water, flour mixed together to make it stiff.
Incredible.
And it turned out great.
Did you wear this to Disney?
No,
you should have. The real Mary would have been like, I'm stepping back.
I know.
I'm stepping back. Okay.
So cute, right?
And Ursula, who wore this?
Okay, so my daughter wore this.
Aww.
And this one is probably the most expensive costume that I've ever made. And it was like when we picked the Little Mermaid theme, like I thought for sure she wanted to be Ariel. Oh. And she wanted to be Ursula.
I love her.
I know. And I was like, okay, well, what's available? And of course, there was like nothing. And so for this one, like I just pieced it together by the shapes, right? Like the main body was like this big circle, almost like a beach ball, or like she loves Squishmallows. So I envisioned her like in the middle of a Squishmallow, and that's kind of how I made the body. And then of course, the tentacles are just like triangles that I.
It's fabulous. And the best part about your daughter wanting to be the villain is you actually got to be the princess. Thanks.
I know.
When does mom get that chance?
I know.
We've got a minute left. You talked about working backward, and you say that starts with a pattern, like you create some sort of a base.
Yes. So this is how I make all my patterns.
Okay.
And like, especially like Mary Poppins, you know, I take, I find a shirt or something that has like the sleeve that matches kind of the size and style that I'm looking for. And then I literally work backwards and take it apart. So Brooke, let's show everybody how easy it is.
Oh gosh.
So you find the seams, like I usually line it up.
Okay.
And then you just literally just cut across it.
This is why I didn't pass 7th grade sewing. Okay. So what piece are you using? All of them?
So right now we're just doing a sleeve.
A sleeve, okay.
And then you just cut along the seam at the bottom.
Break it down.
All the way down.
And then whatever fabric or whatever in foam or whatever material, where is the seam? Right there.
Oh yeah.
That you want to use, you map around this piece.
Yep.
Okay.
And then you have a pattern, and
look at you.
You can just piece it back together.
I think you're amazing, and I hope your kids do too. Do they appreciate?
It's amazing. You know, it's funny because this is their life, right?
Sure. They don't know any different.
No, they totally don't, and I love it.
Yeah.
I love that they don't, because I don't know, it's just
it's your joy. It's your thing.
Yes.
So this then becomes what we would use to create any piece.
Yeah, you can put that over anything. Like last year I made a rocket costume and used fur. You know, you can do anything.
All right, do we dare ask what's the theme for 2024? Has there been an announcement or a reveal?
This one's a little boring by my own standards.
Oh dear.
Because, I shouldn't say that.
No,
my kids are gonna watch this and be like,
we know your standard and we know what boring is going to be, so go ahead.
Well, so they all wanted to be dinosaurs. And so we went with a Jurassic World theme.
Oh,
and I'm gonna be Claire, so we're just normal humans, you know, in clothes.
We're gonna be on the edge of our seats waiting to see the dinosaurs, the texture. Did the foam make an appearance again?
No, so I actually bought all the dinosaurs.
You bought the dinos, okay, good.
Because I'm like,
take the shortcut.
Right, it takes so much time, and there's 6 of us.
Yeah, no, the math.
How do I make 6?
The math and the time. Where can we follow along and see the reveal?
Okay, on Instagram, I guess.
Yes.
So at Kalee Allred.
We'll link you over, honestly, just to go back through the past 11 years and then also to get excited about what's to come. Thank you for inspiring us. And the joy, I think, that you get out of it is just as inspiring as the amazing creations. You're so talented.